What position group are you most worried about going into the season?
The main one for me is the offensive line, just because we ain't got a for sure uh, front five like that we know 100% is gonna start, and that's gonna be the biggest concern. But now this one might be out there, and y'all might look at me funny for this, but I just want you to think about this one for a minute. Quarterback, just think about it for a minute, because yes, Joe has done some great things. He has, but what happens if because look, the expectation's way up here. What happens if the expectation that's being on the field ain't producing? What that's the thing that kind of concerns me is how is he going to handle the pressure and how's he going to handle everything else? Because yes, he came in with the bowl game last game of the year, firing off the wall, but the consistency of every single week being at that high level to perform in front of a fan base who is one of the most, hate to say it, controversial fan bases out there. Look, when you are doing good, you are good. But when you start sliding off, oh, Katie bar the door. So I just wonder if he can keep that consistency all year long.
I'm going to have to go with special teams because we still got a lot of question marks in that category at the moment.
I could see that, yeah.
I mean, a kicker and a punter, we really don't. There's no information pretty much out there about it at the moment on our special teams. So
yeah, we've just not got to see it. So yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to go against that and go with the secondary. We ranked 127 out of 131 Division I teams last year in the secondary. Granted, we was on the field a whole lot more than any other team because with our style of offense, our defense plays a ton of snaps. But we need to be better at limiting big plays for our opponents. And until we answer those questions, that's my big concern is what do we have in our secondary backfield.
You got a point we got to get off the field on third down. You got to get off that field.
Yeah, performance-wise, I'm rolling with Spur. It's got to be the position that we've struggled with the last 2 years. It's defensive backs and secondary. I'm excited to see them though.
Oh, I am
we
too.
got a lot of, we're healthy. We're not playing walk-ons, against Alabama. They got the job done. I'm not knocking them, but University of Tennessee shouldn't be having to, play our walk-ons against Alabama. But depth, that category, I would probably go offensive line, just because we're solid, but I don't know how deep we are at like tackle, So and like right now, even with Cooper, I don't really see him playing against Virginia. I mean, it's possible, but I mean, there's kind of a panic right now within the media of just what are we going to do? Cooper's not, so I don't know, but. Yeah, for me, that would be my second.
And look, I'm not saying that Joe Milton will do bad either. I'm just curious about how the pressure, it's gonna be a different pressure than what he's used to.
Oh yeah, I mean, I want to see him,
and I think he'll do good, but it's just something that you got to look at.
Coach Heupel said that Iamaleava is ready to quote shine now.
That's what he said.
So
he's ready,
and Heupel doesn't give out praise unless it's warranted. So if he says Iamaleava is ready to shine if he's needed, then I believe Coach Heupel.
Yeah, I believe him too. I'm ready to see, and I'm not really doubting Joe, but I want to see him.
I'm not either.
I want to see him in the swamp. I want to see him 3rd and 7, and that place going crazy. I want to see how he reacts.
Let's see how he reacts in hostile environments.
The way you say that. Many times in the past, in the past 15 years, it's always come down to the swamp is your proving game.
Right.
You prove yourself in the swamp. If you do good, you're a starting quarterback. If you don't do good, you ain't the starting quarterback. That's the fact of the matter about it.
And everybody's high on us. I'm scared to death. I'm scared to death of Florida. Just because you could put Vanderbilt in Florida uniforms and they're going to play as good.
And that's why we're going down there, Luke.
Oh, we're going to win, but I
what
am
the old
nervous.
ball coach used to always say about the swamp? Only Gators get out alive, but I think this year Volunteers might get out alive.